G'day everyone, welcome back to the Twisty Test Championship. We got day 2 action coming up here between South Africa and the West Indies. What an interesting start we had on day 1. The West Indies 309 for 6 at stumps. Jason Holder and Durrich out there in the middle. Is it Rabada with the ball here to begin things on day 2? I think it might be. It is. Well, there's an edge early over the keeper's head. And an early boundary for the West Indies. And Jason Holder. Oh, it's a close shout. And it's given. So that'll be the end of Jason Holder. Rabada gets an early breakthrough on day 2. But it's going to be sent upstairs. Now, it looked like there was maybe 2 noises, and the replay does show that, yep, there was an inside edge, so this will be overturned. It's a disappointment from, I guess, a South African point of view. They'll miss that opportunity. Holder's able to get this one away for a single with a leading edge, for a couple of runs anyway. Edged and taken this time. So a few chances it took for the South Africans to get the first wicket of the day. It was Pretorius who got there in the end after a bounce up with an edge over the keeper's head first, and then an LBW not given, and eventually the third time was the charm to dismiss Jason Holder. As Cornwall now to the middle for the West Indies. Edged. Oh, and that's gone through the gap too. It's a really thick one. It ends up going to the boundary. But you just wonder, what have the West Indies got today? They've already played one match where they scored a really, really big total. That was against Afghanistan after their first round loss to the Sri Lankan side. So this is now a really important test match for them. They'll want to be getting as many points from it as possible. Obviously, a win is ideal. That would get them the 2 points compared to, I guess, the 1 for obviously a draw. Or even a loss, they wouldn't get any. So, oh, there's another shout. And given this time. So another wicket. This time I think Nortke was the bowler, but we are going to see another review here. It was an inside edge, but I think that was after it struck the pad. What does the ball tracker say? Pitching outside off. Impact outside off, which means this is got a green light. It's actually got 2 green lights. It was wicket missing, which means that's going to be overturned as well. So already 2 referrals, 2 overturned decisions today. Really interesting stuff, and so far both decisions going in favour of the West Indies as they push towards 350 after 100 overs. So really, they batted a quite strong first innings. This time, just a little outside edge for a wicket. No questions about that one. Rabada will pick that one up. Just a little edge through to de Kock. The slip fielder was desperate to make that catch. Oh, look at him come from nowhere. Anyway, Rakeem Cornwall out for 17. Quinton de Kock obviously taking it to keep up. Rabada has his second. And the South Africans would be hoping to bat fairly soon, as they've got the West Indies 8 for 370. Even these two starting to build up a nice little partnership of runs just to continue the flow. As this will be worth 2 more runs here to the team total. 3 more actually. 377 now on the board. 400 would be a really, really big first inning score, and that'll be buys or wides even. So that'll be 5 wides worth a heap from a West Indian point of view. As there's another shout here, which this time is given not out. Now the South Africans are sending it upstairs with a review from Pretorius' bowling. Pitching outside off, impact umpire's call, wickets umpire's call, so it could have been both out and not out. The original decision was not out, so it will stay not out. These umpires have missed a few today. Oh, got him! What a ball this is. Look at it move off the wicket. Oh, it just hits the seam perfectly. Deviates a long way. No inside edge whatsoever. And Pretorius gets rid of Kemar Roach for 9. The West Indies 9 down for 393. Oh, and that's almost hit the stumps as well. Out. All out. Another beautiful delivery this time from Pretorius. Just swings it around, hits the base of the off stump. Just a beautiful delivery. And it results in a wicket. West Indians all out. Gamal Warrican out for 1. And they're all out for 394, so didn't quite get to that 400 total they would have been hoping for. But 394 on the board, not a bad score whatsoever. Puts them in a strong position here against the South Africans as they make their way out to the middle for a bat. Kemar Roach with the new ball in hand for the West Indies. Hit him on the body first ball, so they'll pick up a bye straight away, but that's got to hurt Elgar. Right in that ribcage area as we see an outside edge in the second over, or the third over it is. Aiden Markram going to depart. Good catch taken there. He's just driving off the back foot and a little edge through to the man sort of at a gully. Markram out for 1. The West Indies get the first. Very early, and a very early breakthrough. Oh, and another edge. And this time over and through the slips. I mean, it did go both over and through, that's why you can say it. Because it did find the gap and go over the top. So we've got Rossi van der Dussen and Dean Elgar at the middle needing to stem the flow a little bit from a South African point of view as we see a big shout for an LBW. Already seen 3 reviews today. Make this number 4. This is the most reviews we've seen in a single day of Twisty Test Championship cricket. The impact is outside off and the wicket's missing, so this one will be not out. The West Indies will lose a review as they were hoping to get a second breakthrough wicket at this early stage. A couple more runs here for these two. Edged. And yes, it is taken. Gee, there was 2 guys there. I thought one of them had messed up the other. But in the end, it was a wicket. And it was a good catch. So diving to the left. Jeez, again. Look at this. Elgar out for 14. Hetmeyer was the one who took the catch in the end. He was the one who dived in front. It did surprise me, actually, that was the case. Anyway, the South Africans now 27 for 2. And, well, they're in a bit of trouble. Considering they're still 362 behind the pace. They really just need someone to lift for them. Van der Dussen 10 from 38, starting to make his way into a bit of an innings. Faf du Plessis out there with him now, who's now 12 from 9 and increasing his runs every delivery as he finds the cover boundary. And he looks comfortable from the get-go. And that'll be more runs for Faf. Striking at over 100 at the moment in a test match. What's going on? Look at that. Beautiful drive there. 50 up for the South Africans now. Oh, and down the ground this time. There's a man there, but not quite deep enough and not quite straight enough. Shot perfectly timed for 4 straight down the wicket. Oh, and that'll be more runs again. This time Van der Dussen, who figured he should get a move on given Faf's actually just beating him in terms of the runs. And he's faced double his balls. Oh, there was a chance. There was a chance. Just didn't quite get to the fielder. It was put down anyway. It was tight. One thing we haven't seen in this innings compared to the opening innings of the South African bowlers was a bit of ill-disciplined bowling. We saw the West Indies get a lot of extras in the first sort of session or two. Oh, bowler's end. Huge mix-up. Oh, my goodness, and they're going to get back safely. Wow. That could have been a disastrous run-out. In the end, it's going to be 4 more runs for Faf du Plessis from this short delivery. That's the 50 partnership up as well between these two. As I was saying, the ill-disciplined bowling from the South Africans cost them a lot of runs from extras in that opening innings. But the West Indies, they haven't done anything like that so far. As we see another shout here from Warwican. It looked really close at first glance. Umpire says not out. Maybe just going over the top of the off stump. But they are going to use their second review here, the West Indies. They only had one left. And this one is going to remain not out. Impact outside off and wickets missing. So they're out of reviews. Just 26 overs into the innings and 2 wickets down. The West Indies are out of reviews. And we've seen 6 reviews today now. 6! Across the board, I think 4 from the West Indies, 2 from the South Africans. That takes us to tea on day 2. It's 92 for 2, the South Africans. And they trail by a further 302 runs as we head towards the final session of play on the second day's play. Van der Dussen over the top. Finds 4 more runs. But a real interesting session coming up here because the South Africans, well, they need to really buckle down and survive. But there's an outside edge. That's going to be a wicket. Oh, boy. And from a West Indian point of view, if they can get a couple more wickets, just like the one of Van der Dussen there, all of a sudden they are in the very super strong position to be able to go ahead and win this match. Edged. Oh, put down by the keeper. De Kock first ball gave them an opportunity. And now du Plessis chops it on. He was 1 off a half century. Look at the wobble seam on that one. Actually, he's missed it completely. It's just hit the top of off. Warwican continues to be quality throughout this tournament. And all of a sudden, the South Africans, 104 for 4. In a little bit of trouble. Maybe a lot of trouble, actually. Temba Bavuma's in there with Quinton de Kock at the moment. And they still need a further 77 to avoid the first innings follow-on. So they'll take that as maybe their first goal. 21 overs left today. But that'll be 4 runs for Bavuma. Quality shot. The run rate they're going, they should be on about 190 by stumps. They're going at about 3 and over. Maybe just above 3 and over. Oh no, it's about 3 and over. So if they get another 60 odd runs, oh, this is a close run. Gee, maybe direct hit was out, but keeper could have been a little bit quicker there. So we'll see maybe some more runs. It's a tight single. It is a direct hit. Oh, and the crowd goes silent. How close was it? When it's a direct hit, it's always pretty close. And yep, this one's no surprise. It's going to be out. Going to be given out. He's about a foot short. And Quinton de Kock departs for 19. Huge trouble the South Africans are in. 153 for 5. Bavuma and Nortke in at the moment. Still 241 behind the first innings total of the West Indians. What's in the air? But it's in the gap. Should be a couple more runs. It'll be 4 of them. So a big responsibility here for Temba Bavuma. Oh, another shout here on Nortke. The LBW shout of Cornwall. The umpire says not out. Remember, the West Indies, they're out of reviews. So they cannot use a review to get themselves this wicket. It was impact outside off anyway. would have remained not out. Would have remained not out even if the umpire gave it out. And the South Africans reviewed. So a good decision by the umpire there as these two push back for another tight 3. They get it again. As we head towards the final couple of overs of play. There's not too many left. Swavuma's happy to pick up another 4 runs. As I reckon we've got maybe 2 overs to come. Cornwall's got 1 of them. Oh, and he's almost straight that back onto the stumps. Anyway, final ball of the day. And it's going to be a dot. So that'll be it for day 2 of this Twisty Test Championship 3rd round matchup. The South Africans, well, they're in a little bit of a spot of bother. 170 for 5. Chasing down a pretty big total by the West Indies in their first innings. They made 390 odd. So they still need at least a further 30 runs, the South Africans, to avoid the follow-on. See you all on day 3 as we continue this match. Kemar Roach, the man with the ball to dominate today. He's got 3 wickets so far for the West Indies. Faf du Plessis, the top scorer for the South Africans.